Protest outside Dublin social housing scheme construction site has ended, court told. A protest which had halted work on a social housing scheme in West Dublin has ended, the High Court has heard.K&J Townmore Construction Ltd, which has been contracted by Cluid Housing Association to build 65 social houses and apartments at Ladyswell Road, Mullhuddart, Dublin 15, had brought proceedings against protesters it claimed had been unlawfully blockading the site since mid-January. On Thursday afternoon, when the case returned before the High Court, Ms. Justice Leonie Reynolds was told the protest, which had prevented Townmore's workers and subcontractors from accessing or leaving the site, had ended.Gary. McCarthy SC for Townmore said the proceedings, which had been taken against Ms. Alice Woods as she was the only identified protester, had been resolved following discussions.Counsel said Ms. Woods was consenting to the making of orders prohibiting her and any other person who has knowledge of the making of the order restraining the protesters from trespassing at or interfering with the access to the site.Lawyers. For Ms. Woods said she was consenting to the orders sought by Townmore, but did not accept Townmore's claim that she was the protesters' ringleader. The action was taken when protesters, who had claimed they want some of the new houses allocated to local people, began to physically obstruct and stand in front of vehicles trying to enter or leave the site. The protesters used placards stating "local houses for local people, more social housing for the Irish and make the social housing list fair." Townmore, represented by Mr. McCarthy and solicitor Tom Casey, claimed this action had impacted on the firm's ability to comply with its contractual obligations to complete the works on time, and damaged its reputation. It claimed the firm also claimed the dispute was between Cluid and the residents and that it was caught in the middle. The company further claimed the protests have resulted in costs over €1.5 million. It sought injunctions against the protesters when talks between those involved in the action and Cluid failed to resolve matters. Ms. Justice Reynolds, who had previously granted the construction firm permission to serve short notice of the injunction proceedings on the protesters, welcomed the news that the protest had ended. The judge also welcomed the fact that Ms. Woods was consenting to the orders, but said the court would take a very serious view if the orders were breached and the matter had to return before the court. The judge also wanted to convey her serious concerns over the participation of school children, during school hours, in the protests. Serious health and safety issues had been raised in the proceedings arising out of the fact that the protesters had prevented heavy vehicles from accessing the site, the judge added. For more on this story, visit the news article link.